Ranking footballers I've met and filmed with. Now, I'm hoping not to burn any bridges in this video because, to be honest, the majority of them have been really, really nice. Anything I say in this video cannot be used in evidence against me. With that being said, I have been fortunate enough to film and meet a lot of footballers. We've got around 50, I believe, to get through. We've got 5 tiers: stinker at the bottom, baller but not great on camera, a good chat, which is, you know, those interviews that are like, they're right, good chat, not much happened, but it's a nice chat, nice guy. Second tier, did a solid, and the top tier obviously being top tier all round. Now, Alan, we're gonna kick things off by whacking you in good chat because that's pretty much all it was. He was in good spirits, even though it was absolutely Arctic conditions. Moving swiftly on to Antoine Griezmann. Now, this could have been a stinker because I don't speak French. He doesn't speak English. So there is a bit of a barrier there, I can't lie. However, he was amazing. He was a bit nervous at the start, but we got an email at the end of the day saying Antoine thoroughly enjoyed it. It was his favorite interview of everything he did that day. He was with World Media and I was the British guy representing Britain. Top tier all round. He was genuinely really, really good and he enjoyed it, and I made him do Fortnite dances. And I embarrassed myself by doing Fortnite dances in front of him. Ian Wright we're gonna do next, only because I interviewed him at the same time as interviewing Alan Shearer. That was the first time I met him. I then filmed with him for EA Sports. He was an absolute legend. He's just so, so good. He even talks to me on Instagram. It's like Uncle Ian. Mate, he is an absolute top tier all-round bloke. I would put him in did a solid, but I've met him quite a lot and he really remembers you. He's just an overall good guy. Whereas Alan Shearer, I've only had one chat with him. So Ian Wright, every time I see him, he's amazing. He's super, super cool. Moving on to Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He was a little bit shy on camera, but he was also willing to give things a go. And he was just really, really polite. He was really nice. He knew about YouTube. He wasn't like amazing on camera. Then he did nothing wrong. Like he gave it his best effort. So want to put him baller, but not great on camera? No. He actually did do a solid. He was really nice to me as well off camera. I mean, Ben Foster, where do we start with this man? He's just a god. The first video I ever filmed of him was a 100-kilometre cycle whilst he was playing for Watford. He finished training and came and rode to every championship stadium in London with me. Who does that? I'll tell you who does that. A top tier, all-round bloke. Ben Foster in the top. Now, I feel bad saying this because I've talked about this like quite a lot. Steve Cook and Adam Smith, look, they're nice guys. You know, they followed me and stuff after the shoot, but in the video, very awkward. They didn't want to be there. Would give me a bit of a hard time until Jack Wilshere said, come on lads, sort it out. Can't lie, it was a bit of a stinker. Bear in mind that I was, you know, in my early stages, but nice lads, but stinker of the video, can't lie. Robbie Savage, just is a good guy. Filmed with him in quite a few videos now. Also off camera as well, just super sound. Weirdly enough, he actually tried to offer me a job, like back in the day, like get me my own show. He did a solid. Robbie Savage, always a good laugh on camera, loves it. Cesc Fabregas. Now Chris loves him, loves the YouTube. I've only ever interviewed him, never had the pleasure of actually filming a football video with him. I want to say he did a solid, but at the end of the day, it was a good chat. If you were going to take me on in a free kick challenge on YouTube, would you choose either Janino, Ronaldinho, David Beckham, Roberto Carlos, or Chris MD? Chris MD. You choose Chris? Out of all of those 4 legends? Yeah, he's amazing. Fabregas, good chat. Carla Humphreys, baller. Filmed 2 videos with her, top tier all round. Always down to do anything in the football challenges. Carla, you are top tier all round. Ryan Giggs. Bit of an awkward one, this, isn't it? We're gonna have to put him in stinker, even though the video was actually quite good. Moving on. Del Piero. Filmed with him 3 times and bumped into him in LA on the beach with him and Pavel Nedved. And he remembered me. He remembered me every time, actually. Great English, great on camera. I feel like the interaction I had with him on the beach in LA might push him up. Oh, did a solid. Del Piero did a solid. He did a solid for me. Andrea Pirlo. Now, technically, I've not filmed with him, but I have met him at a driving range in New York. Very, very polite. And then Spencer interviews Pirlo a few weeks later. Said, oh, funny enough, you actually met Theo Baker, a #United player. And Pirlo, who had obviously stalked me and looked up my stuff after meeting me because he liked my photo, he said, yeah, I've seen him. He's a baller. Basically, he's a baller. Play the clip.
Theo Baker actually met you at a driving range in New York. You were playing some golf. Do you remember meeting Theo?
Yes, I remember. He's a great player.
Great player. Yeah. From the man himself, Andrea Pirlo, Theo Baker is a great player. You can have that one, Theo.
I wonder if he actually knows me or if he's just being polite to Spencer. Archie Thompson, legend. The Australian Pele, top tier all round. Mate, this guy was he was just so sound. He's got the record for scoring the most goals in a World Cup qualifier match. I think it was like 9 or 12. It was basically when Australia beat like American Samoa like 32-0. Absolute hero, legend of a video. Moving on to Cafu. Interviewed him and have played with him or played against him? No, been around him at the Wembley Cup. Did sit and have a chat with him and his manager for half an hour in a lounge at the airport once. With Cafu, World Cup winner. Quite mad. Cafu, good chat. Nice guy. David James. Weirdly enough, my first ever meeting / interviewing a footballer, and that was at Wycombe Wanderers Stadium. Have met him subsequently quite a few times at various shoots and whatnot. What he said to me on the bus on the way to the Rangers match, because he was on my team in the Rangers Legends football match, he calmed me down because I was very nervous basically. He's top tier all round. He's just a really good bloke. He was just really, really nice and put me at ease a little bit. Declan Rice actually has only been in one video of mine, but I had good chats with him. Just a top bloke basically. Loves YouTube, always up for things.
Do you know Chris and Lee? Who's better free kick taker, you or him? Because he's good at free kicks.
Is that even a question?
We just had a really nice chat on camera. So Declan Rice, top tier all round. I want to do a football video with him. I saw he played with the F2 and was balled hard. F2 said he was like the best footballer they've ever filmed with. So Deckers, we need to get a challenge going. Moving on, Emil Heskey. Now the video we've actually filmed with him officially hasn't come out yet, but he was really cool and actually bumped into him at Wembley Stadium once. He did us solid. He was a good guy, to be fair. Luis Figo, filmed with him a couple of times now, a few keepy ups here and there. And of course, he invited me to play for the World 11 in the Rangers versus World 11. So for that reason and that reason alone, Luis Figo, top tier all round. Spoke to him on a bus on the way to the match, telling him that Podence was the next big thing for Portugal. He seemed to go along with it and was polite about it. So Luis Figo, top tier. Hector Bellerin, straight into top tier. Again, was one of the first players I filmed with. Absolute legend. Would message me like, hey mate, you alright? I'd be like, yeah, not bad, thanks. But in the video, he just completely gets it, completely gets YouTube. Down with the kids, man, hipster and all that. Bellerin, lovely, lovely guy. Speaking of lovely guys, Thierry Henry. My God. This man, top tier all round. We'll do Jamie Carragher next, but the video was I was on Thierry Henry's team versus Jamie Carragher's team for Sky Sports. One of my favourite videos I've ever filmed. I was on a team with Thierry Henry, my all-time hero, like icon of my life. To be fair to him, first 5 minutes, he was a little bit moody. Didn't really want to be there. Tell you why, jet lagged, but he didn't know that. He just got off a plane from South Africa and he still rocked up to be on my team because he knew how much of a fan I was. Him and Jamie got a bit competitive and he was an absolute legend. He even vlogged for me. He took the camera and vlogged for me.
Come on, Becky.
Oh, he's going no socks, no shoes.
Come on, Becky.
Oh. Yeah!
So Jamie Carragher up next. An interesting one. I tore him to shreds at Wembley. He then elbowed me in the neck. Bit of beef after that. But then, you know, since then, I filmed a few times with him. He's been really sound. I spoke to him one-on-one, off camera, super sound guy. But I can't help but think, you could have taken my eye out. Could have been gold. Did a solid. He is actually just really sound, to be fair to him. Moving on. 2, Owen Hargreaves. Not much to say about Owen Hargreaves. Good chat. That's all it was. I've not really got anyone in baller, but not great on camera yet, have I? Oh, perfect. Nuno Mendes. Baller, but not great on camera. Also had no idea what I was saying. He didn't do anything wrong, and he is a baller for PSG, to be fair to him. I'm going to add another one to the baller, but not great on camera, and that's Coutinho. Didn't really say much to him. He signed a shirt, was in the video. He also didn't really know what's going on, to be honest with him, but Philip Coutinho, as we all know, is a very, very good footballer. James Maddison. First time I filmed with him, the audio was really bad, so you couldn't really hear him. It's just us playing FIFA. It was a little bit awkward and whatnot. Then, we did a free kick challenge with James Maddison. Great on camera, good at free kicks, loved it, did a solid. Not top tier all round, because I don't think he was allowed to fully take part in the video, but he did a solid, and he's just a top bloke. Marquinhos, again, he didn't really understand what was going on, and I sort of rinsed him in a one-on-one. I would say baller, but not great on camera, but he smiled and went along with it. We didn't have too long with him as well, but you know, that wasn't his fault, to be fair to him. Mason Mount, technically, he has been in a video, just a brief appearance saying hi, but most importantly, he set me a challenge for Footballers Set Me a Challenge, and was really cool about it. Reacted to the challenge. Mason Mount, top tier all round, because he didn't have to do that. Jimmy Bullard, again, filmed with him a few times. Jimmy Bullard, and he's a joker. You know, no, top tier all round. Every time I see Jimmy Bullard, he's a lovely fella. I've also realised that I'm putting a lot in top tier all round. Most people are good guys, to be fair to them. Steve McManaman, interviewed him a couple times. He always likes giving his opinion, so for him, it's quite easy to be good on camera. It's just a good chat, not much more else to it. Petr Cech, baller, but not great on camera. He gave good advice as a goalkeeper, and he was up for it, but again, it was just a bit like, not much going on here, not really his fault. Great goalkeeper, but it wasn't the greatest watch as a viewer, I would say. Robert Pires, he's just absolutely brilliant. Every time, like, mate, we're just friends. Why are you laughing? I bumped into him on a plane once, and he said, "You all right, Theo?" Yeah. What? Yeah. Hold that. Gilberto Silva up next, because he was also in a video with Roberto Perez. Did a solid. He would be up at the top. I've only had like half an hour. Roberto Carlos. He's only ever really appeared in videos and like vlogs. Do you know what I mean? Like he's never actually filmed with him. He's only ever lurked in the background. So for that reason, baller, but not great on camera. Ruud Gullit did a solid. Actually, he was really good. He actually loves YouTube. He's got an esports team. Did a solid. Jackie Wilshere, top tier all round. First of all, when he helped out in the Bournemouth video. Second of all, he's an absolute legend. Third of all, in the video where we went to St George's Park recently, he was just like good chats, good on camera, and he just had banter with us, so he was really good. And it's so sad how he ended his career so early, because he was an absolute legend of the game. Jack Wilshere, absolutely love him. Jordan Henderson, good chat. He just sent me a challenge, nice guy. Christian Fuchs, one of my favourites. You know he's now living in America, but when he was at Leicester, he would text me quite a lot. Got a bit weird. Got a bit weird, he'd text me good night. No, Christian Fuchs, like, the first time I met him, we had half an hour with him and he stayed for 2 hours because he wanted to just kick ball. Top tier all round. God, there's so many people top tier all round. Jimmy Bullard, I'll put did a solid. Stevie G, interviews, he's good. He tries hard in football matches when I play against him. He once scored 9 goals against us. We won 12-10, but he scored 9 out of the 10 goals for the other team and 5-a-side. Oxlade-Chamberlain, a little interview with him. Baller, he is good, but he wasn't great on camera, but, you know, he might be shy, to be fair to him. Xavi Simons didn't make the cut for the PSG video. Should have done. Should have made it 8 minutes, but that was mine and Harry's issue. Was a nice person off camera. And actually on camera, he was all right, baller, but he wasn't great on camera. But I think if I had another chance with him, he would be pretty cool to do a proper football video with him. Donnarumma, he was good on camera, even though he couldn't understand me. And he mugged me off, so I'll put him in did a solid for him. Neymar, again, was down to do things on camera. He's a massive baller. He was as good as you can expect Neymar to be. Did a solid. He was pretty good, to be honest with you. The majority of the PSG players were. They were probably getting paid millions to be there, so they were probably very happy. Yeah, Neymar was pretty cool, I won't lie. We may as well do Akinfenwa next. Akinfenwa was brilliant on camera. Oh, maybe it was, you know, maybe it was the first time I filmed with Akinfenwa. And he's just, again, a really cool guy. Try and base it more on the video, did a solid. But then it's sort of like top tier all round. I'm doing top tier all round as people I know a bit more. Do you know what I mean? Kind of vibe. Josh Oluwayemi, good on camera, good baller. Oh, he did a solid. Jermaine Genius was just a good chat. Just a little interview in the car park. Cambiasso, good chats, that's all. Nothing more to say on that one. We were just in Spain before the Champions League final, having a little chit chat. A nice guy, to be fair to him. We're doing the Wembley Cup as an overarching thing. With all the players that have played in the Wembley Cup, I want to put Wembley Cup players in good chat, but were they really in videos? Not really. Rangers 11, World 11, they were all really nice. They were really welcoming. So obviously I played on the World 11 team. The names that stand out to me are like Lehmann, Abadal, Makaleli, Figo, Kaka, Hadji, Quaresma, saw too much of you in the shower. Nuno Gomez actually said nice to meet you via Instagram, which was pretty cool. David James, Costa. That was a pretty cool moment. I was chatting to Jens Lehmann saying how he like wore the same pair of boots for just years. And they were like falling up, they would tape him up and just, it was really, really like touch yourself moment, pinch yourself moment. Pinch yourself moment. Shout out Alan Hutton on the Rangers team though. So I got the World 11 shirt signed and then I wanted my shirt signed by the Rangers team as well. And Alan Hutton was the one that took this, because I wasn't allowed in there, took the shirt around, got everyone and got Gascoigne in the shower having a cigarette to sign the shirt for me, which was cool. And I wanted to put Paul Gascoigne separately. I'm putting him top tier all round only because the fact that I shared a pitch with him was incredible. But even better, I was on the pitch when he came on. Obviously he scored, won the best goal in the world, but the eruption of the crowd was truly incredible to be a part of. And when he walked onto the pitch, the sunlight shined on him and it was like God had entered. That was just wow. Now, before we rank Kaka and Mbappe, I definitely didn't forget anyone. We had a stinker. However, Wrexham, what a performance they've just had against Notts County. The 3 players we've met, Ollie Palmer, Mark Howard and Elliot Lee. They could go top tier all round. They definitely did a solid. Sorted our tickets out for the match. I'm gonna have to put Wrexham as a whole top tier all round. Why? Because they're friggin' legends. See what I did there? Ben Foster. Pitch side, it still counts as me because I am part of pitch side. We interviewed Van Dijk, Andy Robertson and Joe Gomez. We only had an interview. They were actually all really, really nice. And Van Dijk filled in last minute. He replaced Jota because Jota pulled out because he was injured or something like that. But all 3 of them, absolute quality. Potential to go and did a solid, but because we only got like 10 minutes with each one, we didn't really get to know on a personal level. Those 3 in good chat. Also on the pitch side, venture, Jolyon Lescott did a solid. He was actually really sound and he has requested a 5-a-side match between his team up in Manchester and pitch side 5-a-side team. So hopefully we make something of that and we make that a thing. Jolyon Lescott did a solid. Moving on to another Liverpool player, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He was genuinely very, very good. I think I'm going to put Trent in did a solid. At the start, he wasn't amazing on camera. He was a little bit shy, and I think when he realised that me and Chris didn't care and I was a bit of a weirdo, he sort of like warmed to us and sort of just let loose. I think he was used to like the classic like media days where it's all a bit like that, and he banged in a few free kicks. Trent, for me, went and did a solid. And then we've got Mikel Arteta. Wow, what a man. My Spanish father. He remembers me. Filmed with him a few times now. He is personable with me. He asks about my hip. He treats Chris as my cameraman. He is my hero, and he's leading Arsenal to a Premier League title. Arteta for me is top tier all round, because I think it's how personable he is off camera as well. Like, he gets YouTube, and off camera, an absolute hero to me. That's an easy one for me. Arteta, whack it in, top tier all round. And the final two, both for me, go in top tier all round. Kaka, buddies with him now, me and Kaka, we go way back. Every time we film with him, he's great. Good English as well, so he's really good on camera. Super humble as well. Like, it's for a guy who's won the Ballon d'Or and like one of the biggest footballers in the world, super, super humble. And Kylian Mbappe, top tier all round. Got the banter, spoke great English, was up for doing everything on camera. Just out of all the PSG players there on that day, I did not expect Mbappe to be the one to be the most down for filming a football video with me. That is the final tier list. Make of it what you will. It's still pretty nuts that I filmed with all these players. It's actually pretty crazy. Hopefully many more to come. Thank you guys. Drop a like, subscribe. See you next time.